My beloved child, there are mornings when you awaken, yet your heart still feels as though it is trapped in the depths of night. The birds continue singing outside the window. The sunlight still pours its golden warmth across the rooftops. Yet within you, there is a coldness, like a field left barren after a long winter. I know that feeling. I know those moments when you lift your eyes toward the sky and can no longer find the excitement to keep moving forward. And I want you to understand this. When your soul becomes dry and weary, it is not a sign that I have abandoned you, but a quiet invitation calling you to draw nearer to me. There are thirsts that nothing on this earth can satisfy, because they were created so that only I could fill them. As the deer longs for streams of water, so my soul longs for you. As written in Psalm 42:1, what you are lacking is not merely rest for your body, but restoration for the deepest part of your soul. I see everything you hide behind your calm appearance. I see the times you force a smile so others will believe you are doing fine. I see the nights when you lie silently in the darkness, trying to convince yourself that tomorrow will somehow be better. You have grown used to being the strong one, accustomed to gathering the broken pieces within your heart alone, never daring to let anyone touch them. But my child, is your heart truly becoming lighter? Or have you simply learned how to carry pain without speaking of it? So many times you believed that if you stayed busy enough, the emptiness inside would disappear. You threw yourself into work, responsibilities, and fleeting conversations, only to avoid facing the exhaustion growing deeper within your spirit. But busyness cannot heal what is bleeding inside you. Only love can do that. Only my presence can reach the deepest places that even your own words cannot fully describe. I remember Elijah when he sat alone beneath the broom tree in the wilderness. After great battles, after standing boldly before the people, he collapsed under the weight of exhaustion and despair. He prayed that he might die because he believed he no longer had the strength to continue. Yet I did not condemn him for his weakness. I sent an angel to bring him bread and water so he could rest. And then I spoke to him not through the mighty wind or the earthquake, but through a still, gentle whisper. Do you see, my child, I do not come demanding that you always remain strong. I come to lift you up when you are weary. Just as I have spoken, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. In Matthew 11:28, I never intended for you to live as a lonely warrior. I desire for you to live as a child who knows how to return to the embrace of the Father. There are wounds you have buried deeply because you fear that if you touch them again, you will completely fall apart. You are afraid to remember the betrayals, the words that once fractured your heart, the long seasons when you felt forgotten. So you chose silence. You chose to keep moving as though you had never been hurt. But, beloved child, what is hidden does not simply disappear. A room sealed shut for too long becomes suffocating. And so does your soul. I do not want you to continue living with a heart locked away by fear. Let me step into the places you have tried so hard to protect. Let my light shine upon the memories you once wished to erase. I do not come to condemn you for your tears of weakness. I come to wipe them away with my love. You often believe that maturity means carrying everything alone. You think faith means continuing to stand even while you are collapsing inside. But true faith is not found in forcing yourself to endure endlessly. Faith is when you trust enough to lay your burdens down and place them into my hands. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. As written in 1 Peter 5:7, you do not need to prove your worth through relentless endurance. Your value does not come from how much pain you can survive, but from the simple truth that you belong to me. I know there are times when you wonder why you pray and still feel empty. There are times when you look at others who seem full of life, while you are so weary that you no longer want to say another word. But do not be quick to think that I have been silent. Even in the driest season of the soil, the seed is still quietly taking root beneath the ground. There are works I am doing within you that your eyes cannot yet see. Just as the sower sleeps and rises, night and day, without knowing how the seed grows, so your soul is being quietly restored by me, little by little. Remember the story of the woman who suffered from the issue of blood for 12 years. She had spent all she had seeking healing, yet remained desperate, until the day she pressed through the crowd just to touch the hem of my garment. It was only one small touch, but that faith opened the flow of healing power. My beloved child, I do not require you to possess great strength. I only want you to have enough courage to draw near to me, even in your weakness. If only you open your heart, I will do the rest. Even a trembling prayer can touch heaven when it rises from a sincere heart. So today, do not keep forcing yourself to be stronger. Do not make your soul remain silent any longer. Rest in me. Let me hold the parts of you that you have tried to hide. When you no longer have the strength to walk, I will carry you. When the darkness feels too thick, my light is still enough to guide even your smallest step. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. As written in Psalm 23, I have never taken my eyes off you, never grown weary of your weakness, and never stopped loving you, not even for a moment. A day will come when you wake and realize your heart is no longer as heavy as before. The dawn will make you smile again. The sound of the wind will stir your heart again, not because life has become free of hardship, but because your soul has found its true source of life once more. I will turn your months of exhaustion into a testimony of restoration. I will use the very places that once hurt the most to form tenderness within you for others. And when you look back on the journey you have walked through, you will understand that even in the days when you felt most alone, I was always there, quietly holding your hand and never letting go. My beloved child, there are times when you look at someone and think they have come into your life as a gift of peace. They speak gentle words. They appear at the very moment when you are weakest. And because your heart longs so deeply to be understood, you easily open the door. But my child, not every hand extended toward you is guided by true love. Some people come close to you with the appearance of concern, yet deep within, they carry a chaos that slowly draws your soul away from the light. That is why I want you to learn to see not only with your eyes, but with the wakefulness of a soul led by me. Test the spirits to see whether they are from God. As written in John 4, not everything sweet comes from truth, and not every concern shown toward you rises from a pure heart. I know your heart has been lonely. I know there were nights when all you wanted was someone to sit beside you and listen without judgment. You longed for a place to belong, for someone to walk with you through weary seasons. That is not wrong. I created you with the need to be loved and connected. But beloved child, true love will draw you closer to peace, closer to the light, closer to me. Anything that keeps your soul continually unsettled, causes you to lose the purity within, or gradually pulls you away from the peace I once placed in your heart, pause and look deeper. There are connections that were not born to heal you, but to drain your spiritual strength little by little. Remember Samson. He was given great strength, set apart for a holy purpose. Yet his heart became vulnerable before a love that did not come from the light. Delilah used gentle words and closeness to gain his trust, but behind her tenderness was the intention to weaken him. Samson did not lose his strength in a single moment. He lost it little by little when he allowed the wrong thing to enter the place that should have belonged only to me. Do you see? My child, not everything that makes you feel loved is truly protecting your soul. Some things appear at first like a shelter, yet later become invisible chains. That is why I call you back near to me, so you will not lose your way through things that are beautiful only on the surface. I do not want you to live suspicious of everyone, nor do I want you to lock your heart away. But I do want you to have wisdom. I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. As written in Matthew 10:16, gentleness does not mean blindness. Love does not mean handing your soul over to anyone who knows how to speak sweet words. There are people who love only the version of you that makes them feel comfortable. But when you are truly weak, they are nowhere to be found. There are also those who draw near only to fill the emptiness within themselves. Not to strengthen you, but the love that comes from me will never suffocate your soul. It will allow you to grow freely in light, in truth, and in deep peace. I know there are times when you are not discerning enough to recognize what is truly happening. When a heart has been wounded for too long, it easily clings to any warmth that appears. You may call it love simply because it eases your loneliness for a moment. But my beloved child, I love you far too deeply to leave you walking into places that will break you all over again. Sometimes you blame me for a closed door, for someone leaving, for a relationship that did not unfold the way you hoped. But you do not realize that there are times I am pulling you away from something that would wound your soul far more deeply later on. Not every loss is a punishment. Some separations are actually rescue. Remember Peter when he walked upon the water. As long as his eyes remained fixed on me, he stood firm in the midst of the storm. But when he began to look at the raging waves around him, he sank in fear. So it is with you. If you place the full security of your heart in people instead of in me, you will easily be swept into chaos when they change. Only I am the unshakable rock. Only in me will your soul find true rest. You will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on you. As written in Isaiah 26:3, so when you do not know whom to trust, return first to my voice. Do not let loneliness rush you into placing your heart in the hands of someone who has not been tested through truth. Let me teach you how to recognize what comes from the light. A person guided by true love will not pull you away from my peace. They will not cause you to live continually in anxiety, fear, or exhaustion. Their presence will make your soul clearer, not heavier. I do not promise that every relationship will be easy, but I do promise that what comes from me will carry life, not spiritual exhaustion. My beloved child, stop forcing yourself to appear strong before everyone. Come to me exactly as you are weary, fragile, longing to be held without needing to prove anything. I do not wait for you to become perfect before I love you. I love you even in the days when you are most exhausted. In my presence, you do not need to wear the mask of false stability. With me, you are allowed to cry, allowed to rest, allowed to breathe deeply without fearing abandonment. And I will heal not only the wounds others can see, but also the deepest hidden places within your soul, the places that have silently suffered without ever being touched by true love. My beloved child, what I do in your life is not like the way the world tries to cover brokenness. People often seek only to soothe the surface so the pain will fall silent for a while. But I go far deeper than that. I touch the very places where your soul has quietly cracked, the places unseen by anyone except me. I do not come merely to make you feel better for a moment. I come to remake you from within, so every weary part of you may breathe again with new life from heaven. There are wounds you have carried for so long that you began to believe they were simply part of who you are. But my child, I did not create you to live beneath the weight of fear and exhaustion. I created you for life, for light, for a deep peace that no darkness can ever steal away. As you draw near to me, your spiritual eyes will slowly begin to open. You will start to see life no longer through the fog of anxiety, but through the clarity of faith. What once terrified you will no longer rule your heart, because I will show you that behind the things that seem chaotic, my hand is still quietly at work. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. As written in Psalm 119:105, the light I give is not the kind that overwhelms you, like the fleeting glory of the world. It is a gentle yet enduring light, enough to guide you step by step, even on the days when you cannot yet see the entire road ahead. I know there were times when you prayed for healing and then became disappointed because everything seemed to move too slowly. You longed for a miracle to happen instantly, hoping your heart would stop hurting overnight. But my child, my restoration is not a rushed repair. I am the potter who is patient with his creation. I do not simply glue the broken pieces back together and leave you living in fear of breaking again. I am creating within you a new heart, stronger, purer, and filled with greater light. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. As spoken in Ezekiel 36:26, what I do always reaches the roots, because I do not want you merely to survive. I want you to live in the fullness I intended for you from the very beginning. Remember the blind man Bartimaeus beside the road to Jericho. He had lived in darkness for so long that many people saw him only as a hopeless beggar. But when he cried out to me in the midst of the crowd, I did not only open his physical eyes, I restored his dignity, his hope, and his future. The man who once sat begging by the roadside rose up and walked in new light. So it shall be with you, my beloved child. There are places within your soul that have grown accustomed to darkness for so long that you think they will remain that way forever. But if you continue turning toward me, I will bring back to life what once seemed dead within you. I will cause you to see through the eyes of faith, where every loss is no longer an ending, but soil in which miracles begin to grow. There are days when you think you are lost, yet I have never lost sight of you. Even in the seasons when your faith feels weakest, I am still there, quietly preparing the way ahead. You cannot fully see it, because pain has covered your vision like thick dust upon a window pane. But I am gently wiping away each layer of doubt. And the day will come when you look back and realize that even in the moments that felt most broken, I was building the foundation for something greater than you could imagine. Just as Joseph was sold into slavery and wrongly imprisoned in darkness, you may think your life is moving backward, yet the very place that seemed like an ending became the path I used to prepare him for a far greater purpose. What you call delay is often holy preparation for your future. I want you to understand that not a single tear you have shed has been meaningless. Every time your heart has grown weary, I have been nearer than you realized. Those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. As written in Psalm 126:5, I will not allow the wounds you have endured to remain chains that keep pulling you downward forever. I will turn them into a living testimony of my mercy and my restoring power. What once made you weak will become the very place where I place new strength within you. What once filled you with fear will become proof that I carried you through the darkness without abandoning you even once. So today, stop clinging to the ashes of the past. Open your heart to receive the new breath I am placing into your soul. I am renewing your mind, healing your memories, restoring clarity within you. I am teaching you how to love without living in fear, how to walk forward without being bound by the chains of the past. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, all things have become new. As written in 2 Corinthians 5:17, you are no longer defined by the things that once broke you. You are defined by my love for you. Rise up, my beloved child. Stop seeing yourself as a soul that has lost its strength. I am placing wings back upon you where you once believed you could never fly again. I am leading you out of the land of despair and into a new field of hope. And very soon, you will feel a deep peace flowing through your soul like a gentle river. You will understand that true restoration is not merely returning to who you once were, it is becoming entirely new within my embrace. There is nothing that has been broken that I cannot heal. There is nothing that has been lost that I cannot redeem. When you remain in me, even the most painful seasons of your life will become seeds for future glory. My beloved child, be still for this moment and let every noise within your heart slowly fade before my presence. You no longer need to keep your shoulders tense, no longer need to hide your exhaustion behind a calm appearance, nor pretend that you are fine, while deep within you are longing to be held. I know you. I know the hidden places you have never spoken aloud, the wounds you carefully conceal, the questions you swallow in silence during long, sleepless nights. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. As written in Jeremiah 1:5, there is no dark corner within your soul that surprises me, and no weakness within you that could diminish my love. You may come to me exactly as you are without decorating yourself in false strength, without covering your pain beneath hardened silence, because in my arms you are not judged, you are welcomed, protected, and called by the name of love. Perhaps you have wandered for a very long time through fields of anxiety, where the dust-filled winds have stung your eyes and seasons of disappointment have dried out your heart. But my child, I have never left you. When you thought you were lost, I was still walking behind you, gently keeping enough distance so you would not be afraid, yet close enough to catch you when you fell. Remember the prodigal son in the teachings of Christ, when he returned home with torn clothes, a heart full of shame, and empty hands. The father did not stand there, recounting his failures or demanding explanations for every wrong turn. Instead, he ran to embrace him, clothed him with a new robe, placed a ring upon his hand, and prepared a celebration. My beloved child, that is how I look upon you as well, not with eyes of condemnation, but with the eyes of a father who has waited for you for so long, longing only for you to stop running from love. When you allow me to touch the places you once kept locked away, life will begin to return. The parts of you that seemed reduced to ashes will quietly grow warm again beneath my breath. The dreams you believed had died will be planted again in the fertile ground of hope. I will give them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, as spoken in Isaiah 61:3. Do you see? My child, I do not throw away your ashes. I transform them into the foundation for new beauty. I do not consider your broken pieces worthless. I gather them gently in my hands, and through those very cracks, my light begins to shine. A soul once shattered in my hands does not become lesser, it becomes deeper, softer, and able to love with a compassion refined through tears. There are nights when you ask yourself why your heart still feels heavy, why the dawn arrives, yet your spirit has not grown brighter, why others seem able to move forward while you feel trapped in a land of shadows. But I want you to understand that restoration does not always come like thunder shaking the heavens. Often it arrives like the gentle breeze that touched Elijah upon Mount Horeb, when Elijah was exhausted, afraid, and convinced he was utterly alone. I did not come to rebuke him for his weakness. I gave him rest. I fed him, and then I spoke to him in a still, gentle whisper. So it is with you. I do not always heal you through dramatic events. Many times I come through an unexpected breath of peace, through a ray of sunlight slipping through the curtain, through a verse of scripture that softens your heart, through a quiet moment when you realize you are still loved, even though you are not yet fully strong. So, do not fear my light. That light does not come to shame you, but to heal you, It does not expose you in order to deepen your pain, but to reveal the places that need to be set free. Just as a jeweler patiently places a rough stone beneath skilled hands, I am shaping you not to erase who you are, but so the beauty I placed within you may finally be revealed. That process may sometimes make you tremble, because old things must leave, familiar fears must be released, and the walls you once built to protect yourself must be taken down. But I am with you through every ache of that journey. I will never leave you nor forsake you. As Hebrews 13:5 reminds you of my promise. Not a single tear you shed falls outside of my knowing. Let me teach you how to breathe again, trust again, and love again. You do not need to force yourself to move quickly. Each day I will touch another part of you today. The memories that frighten you tomorrow. The faith that was once wounded. Then the dreams you buried because you believed you were no longer worthy of them. I will not rush your soul. I know how to heal layer by layer. Like morning dew sinking into dry ground, not loudly, but faithfully. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. As written in Psalm 23:3, you do not have to find your own way back to wholeness. I will lead you, step by gentle step, through the dim valleys until you reach the fields of peace. My beloved child, you are not a failure. You are a child being restored by me. You are not a forgotten soul. You are the one I have called back from afar, the one I have lifted from the dust, the one I have clothed again in grace. What you thought was loss, I can turn into a beginning. The places you believed were endings, I can open into new paths. Rest your head upon my chest and listen to the heartbeat of everlasting love. The storm does not have the final voice over your life. Pain does not have the authority to define you. The past cannot keep you chained forever, because I am breathing new life into you. Rise in peace, my child, not by your own strength, but by the strength of the one who holds you in everlasting arms. I am wiping away your tears, placing new garments upon your soul, and calling the dawn to rise over the places that once lay buried in darkness. And I speak to you with unchanging love. I am here. I am restoring you, and I will never let you go. My beloved child, do not let your limited eyes convince you that everything is standing still, even when you cannot see it. I am still working every moment on your behalf. In the unseen realm, I am arranging things your mind cannot yet fully understand. I am making a way where you see only walls, connecting you with people who will become blessings along your journey, and bringing what you need closer to you at the appointed time. There are encounters that seem accidental, but were prepared by me long ago. There are doors that suddenly open after seasons when you believed all hope had already closed, because my hand has never stopped moving over your life. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. As written in Romans 8:28, even the things you cannot yet understand today are being used by me to lead you toward a better place. I know that sometimes you feel confused when you see familiar things gradually slipping away from you. Relationships that were once close begin to grow distant. Plans you once held tightly suddenly dissolve like morning mist. At times, you think you are experiencing loss. But my child, many times I am clearing the way for you. A garden cannot bloom with new flowers if the old weeds have not first been pulled up. A field cannot bring forth a great harvest if the soil has not first been broken open. You are passing through days of spiritual transition, and the disruption you feel is not a sign that I have forgotten you, but a sign that I am preparing something new for your life. Remember Abraham. I called him to leave the land that was familiar to him without showing him the entire journey ahead. He had to leave the place of safety in order to step into the unknown. Perhaps there were nights when he wondered whether he had truly heard my voice. Yet through every step of faith, I built a great nation from his life. So it is with you. I do not always show you the whole picture from the beginning. If I revealed everything all at once, heart might be overwhelmed by something too great to carry. So I illuminate only one step at a time. So you may learn to hold my hand instead of relying on the certainty of your circumstances. The righteous shall live by faith. As written in Habakkuk Cox, Nelia, faith is not waiting until you see everything clearly before you move. Faith is continuing to walk because you know I am leading the way. There are things you call delays, but in truth, they are preparation. I am not only preparing blessings for you, I am preparing you to carry what I am about to give without losing your soul. If I gave everything too early, while your heart was not yet mature enough, even that good thing could cause you to fall. So I use the days of waiting to deepen your faith, to teach you how to discern what is truly necessary and what is merely the noise of the world. Just as David had to pass through lonely fields as a shepherd before he stepped onto the throne, you too are being shaped by me in hidden seasons that others cannot see. Those days that seem small are the very place where I am building the foundation for something greater ahead. Do not be afraid when old doors close. There are places you once wanted to enter, but I did not allow it, not because I was against you, but because I saw what stood behind that door more clearly than you did. A child may cry when a father pulls him away from a dangerous road, but the father does so because he sees the car rushing toward him before the child can recognize it. So it is with me. There are times when I say no to protect you from things that would wear you down later. And when the right time comes, you will understand that what I withheld was never meant to steal your joy, but to lead you into greater fullness. My beloved child, do not let your heart be troubled by the changes before you. Old leaves must fall so spring can make room for new buds. A seed must lie still in the dark soil before it can rise as a strong tree. Even Christ passed through the cross before the glory of resurrection was revealed. So do not think that brokenness is always the end. In my hands, it is often the beginning of something deeper. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. As written in John 12, 24, there are old parts of you that must be released so new life can be born. I know there are times when you want to see the entire plan immediately so your heart can feel secure. But I am teaching you something greater than certainty, trust. When you no longer need to control everything, you will learn where true peace comes from. Peace does not come because you understand everything. Peace comes when you know who holds your future. And I speak to you today, your future is not in the hands of chaos. It is in my hands, the hands of the one who knew every one of your days before they began. Remember that not a single tear you have cried is meaningless. Not one season of waiting has been wasted. I am gathering it all and weaving it into a story more beautiful than you can imagine. One day, when you look back, you will realize that the very roads that confused you most were the places where I was closest to you. You will see that closed doors once saved you from wrong paths. You will see that the people who left created space for the right ones to enter. You will see that delays were actually the time I used to prepare your heart for something greater. So today, let your heart rest within my care. Do not be afraid of the things that are changing. Do not cling to the old season while I am leading you into a new one. Let me continue writing the picture of your life with my wise and loving hands. Though right now you may see only a few scattered strokes, I already see the complete masterpiece. And I promise you, what I am preparing is not disaster, but a future filled with hope, peace, and life, the very things your soul has long been longing for. My beloved child, keep your heart at peace in these days when the path ahead is still unclear. Do not let the fog of the present moment hide the faithfulness I have shown throughout your life. time and time again. Perhaps today you do not understand why certain doors have closed, or why the journey seems slower than you hoped. But my child, I have never lost control over the story of your life. Before you cried your very first cry, I already saw this day of your life. Before you walked through seasons of testing, I had already prepared enough grace for every step you would take. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. As written in Psalm 139:16, nothing surprises me, and no darkness is thick enough to hide the light I am quietly weaving into your life. When you feel weak, remember that you are not walking alone. I am holding you up with the same hands that laid the foundations of heaven and earth. There have been moments when you thought you were about to collapse, yet somehow you still made it through another day, still found enough breath to keep moving forward. You may think that was only your own strength, but my child, it was I who quietly held you together when you were close to giving up. Just as the eagle spreads its wings to carry its young upon its back, so I am carrying you through dangerous paths that you could never cross by your own strength. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. As written in Isaiah 40:31, I am not merely helping you survive the storm, I am teaching you how to rise above it through faith. There are seasons when I allow darkness to surround you, not to destroy you, but so you may learn to recognize my light more deeply. A star shines most clearly when the night sky falls over the earth. In the same way, during the days when you feel most lost, I am forming within you a steadfastness that circumstances cannot shake. Do not fear the periods when everything becomes silent. A seed does not sprout in noisy places upon the surface. It grows quietly in deep darkness. You too are in such a season. I am working beneath the surface of what your eyes can see. What I am preparing for you is greater than anything you have dared to hope for. And that is why I am also enlarging your soul so you will be able to carry it. Remember Joshua when I called him to enter the promised land after the time of Moses. Before him stood the overflowing Jordan River, and behind him rested a responsibility so great it could make any heart tremble. Yet I spoke to him, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." As written in Joshua 1:9, I did not promise him there would be no challenges. I promised that my presence would go with him through every challenge. My beloved child, I am speaking the same words to you today. You do not need to know everything that lies ahead in order to keep walking. You only need to know that I am there. This is the season in which I am calling you out of the old limitations that have held you back for far too long. There are fears you once accepted as part of who you are. There are thoughts that made you believe you were not capable enough, not worthy enough, not strong enough to step into something new. But I am breaking those invisible chains. I did not create you to live forever inside the narrow tent of false safety. The ocean was not made for ships that remain forever anchored at the harbor. I am calling you farther, deeper, and higher in faith. And even if the first step causes you to tremble, I will still be there, holding your hand. My beloved child, what I am doing in your life is not meant only for you. I am shaping you into a source of comfort for other souls. The tears you once cried will help you understand the pain of others with a deeper compassion. The seasons of loneliness you endured will enable you to become a place of peace for those who feel lost and abandoned. I do not waste anything in your journey. Even the hardest roads are being used to prepare you for a purpose greater than yourself. You are the light of the world. As written in Matthew 5:14, I desire that light not only to dwell within you, but also to shine through you, so it may guide those who are walking in darkness. Perhaps today you still cannot see the entire picture, but I can. I am placing every piece exactly where it belongs. I am weaving together the things that once seemed disconnected into a beautiful symphony. One day, When you look back, you will realize that even the delays, the closed doors, and the separations that once caused you pain were all my hand, leading you to the place where you truly belonged. Just as Esther was brought into the palace, not merely for herself, but for such a time as this, so I am positioning you in certain places, so your life may become an instrument for a purpose greater than your own. So today, rise with renewed faith. Do not let the voice of fear become louder than my voice. Do not return to old land simply because the new journey still feels unfamiliar. I have planted within you the seed of perseverance, courage, and unshakable faith. Let that seed grow. Let me lead you beyond the boundaries you once built around yourself. What I am preparing ahead is not exhaustion, but abundant life, not failure, but the revelation of my glory through your very life. And as you walk within that calling, you will come to understand that everything I have allowed carries eternal meaning. I am making you into an instrument of light in a world starving for hope. I am making your soul stronger than refined gold in fire, gentler than healing waters, and brighter than anything you once believed about yourself. Be steadfast, my child, for I am going before you, standing beside you, and surrounding you from behind. Nothing can stop my plan when your hand is placed within mine. My beloved child, do not let dark days cause your heart to forget that I am still present. Perhaps what lies before you now are roads without clear direction, doors not yet opened, and questions still without answers. But my child, the silence of circumstances does not mean I have stopped working. Even when you cannot see it, my hand is still moving through the smallest details of your life. I am the one who sees the ending from the very beginning. Not a single day of your life has been forgotten, and not one tear has fallen without purpose. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness I have drawn you. As written in Jeremiah 31:3, it is that very love that is quietly leading you through seasons whose meaning you cannot yet understand. When your shoulders grow heavy and your heart becomes weary from the length of the journey, remember that you are not walking by your own strength alone. I am carrying every step you take, even on the days when you think you no longer have enough strength to stand. There are moments when you believe you are merely dragging yourself through darkness. But in truth, I am teaching you to walk by faith, and not only by what your eyes can see. Just as the people of Israel had to pass through the wilderness before entering the promised land, you too are walking through a season of preparation. The wilderness is not a place of abandonment. It is the place where I shape the human heart, where I teach the soul to depend upon heavenly provision instead of the certainty of the world. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. As reminded in Deuteronomy 8, it is precisely in the days of lack and waiting that I am causing your faith to grow deeper roots. Do not be afraid when darkness surrounds you, because I am not hindered by darkness, what you call a long night. I call the place where light is being conceived. A lamp never shines clearly at midday. It is recognized most vividly when everything around it grows dark. I am creating within you a light that does not come from passing emotions, but from my enduring presence within your soul. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. As written in John 9:5, no power of fear or despair can extinguish what I have placed within you. My beloved child, I planted the seed of steadfastness in your heart long before you realized it. Perhaps even you do not know how strong you have become, because many times you thought you were about to collapse. Yet you still rose again. That was not by chance. I am training you through every storm, just as a tree grows strongest when it must withstand fierce winds. Your soul is becoming more deeply rooted through the trials that once seemed determined to knock you down. And the day will come when you look back and realize that the most painful seasons were the very places where I laid the foundation for future miracles. But, my child, I have not called you merely to live safely within familiar places. There are old tents you must leave behind if you want to see the wider sky I have prepared for you. I am inviting you to step beyond the limits of fear, shame, and the thoughts that have held you back for far too long. Just as Peter had to step out of the boat to walk upon the water, you too must learn to step out of the place that gives you a false sense of safety and into the supernatural realm of faith. If Peter had continued clinging to the boat, he would never have known that my power was enough to keep him standing upon the waves. So it is with you. There are things you will only see when you dare to walk with me. Do not think that the change I am working is only about your own life. I am preparing you to become a source of comfort for others. What you have endured will become the language of compassion when you meet souls who are hurting as you once hurt. I am refining you like a blacksmith shapes a blade in the heat of fire. Every trial does not make you less valuable. It makes you sharper for the purpose I have appointed. You are the light of the world. As written in Matthew 5:14, I want that light not only to guide your own path, but also to shine into places of despair, so those who have lost their way may find hope again through your life. Remember Esther. She was once an ordinary young woman, yet I brought her into a position she herself could not fully understand at first. Only when the appointed time arrived did she realize that everything I had arranged was meant to save many others. Perhaps today you also do not yet understand why you have had to pass through such difficult seasons, but I see the greater purpose ahead. I am positioning you in the right place for the time I have appointed. No experience in your life is useless. No season of pain is merely pain. All of it is becoming part of a greater plan I am writing through your life. So today, stop seeing yourself as a weak soul swept away by circumstances. See yourself through my eyes. You are being prepared for something greater than you once imagined. I am enlarging your vision, strengthening your inner life, and refining your faith so you will no longer tremble before the changes ahead. When I call you into new territory, I will also give you the strength to stand firm there. I never call you to a place where my grace is not enough to cover you. My beloved child, be courageous and keep moving forward. Do not return to the old place of safety simply because you fear the unknown. I am going before you to level the rough roads ahead. I am standing behind you to lift you when your heart grows weak. And I am within you as a source of strength that never runs dry. A new season is opening before you, a season of growth, of spiritual clarity, of power and hope. Walk forward in that faith. For I am making your life a living testimony of my faithfulness and everlasting glory. My beloved child, let your heart rest in me instead of being swept away by the changing tides of emotion day after day. There are mornings when you awaken filled with hope. Yet there are also nights when your soul trembles beneath questions that still have no answers. You look at your circumstances and wonder whether I am truly at work. But my child, true faith is not built upon what the eyes can see. It is anchored in the faithfulness of the one who never changes. The righteous shall live by faith. As written in Romans 1:17, faith does not mean you always feel strong. Faith is when, even in the midst of uncertainty, you still choose to believe that my hand is leading the way. I know waiting often makes your heart weary. There are times when you have prayed for so long without seeing what you hoped for appear. There are moments when you think that if I truly heard your voice, things would surely be different by now. But my beloved child, I have never been late in the way the world understands delay. I am working according to my perfect timing. If I opened a door too early while you were not yet prepared, even that good thing could become a burden to your soul. So I use seasons of waiting to deepen the roots of your faith, teaching you to seek me rather than only the gifts I can give. Just as a mighty tree must sink its roots deep into the earth before it can stand firm against violent storms, So I am strengthening you from within through these days that seem silent. Remember Joseph. He received my promise while he was still very young. Yet before that promise came to pass, he had to pass through the pit, through years of slavery, and through unjust imprisonment. If seen only through human eyes, everything appeared completely opposite to what I had spoken. But my child, those years of delay were the very school I used to prepare his soul for the great position ahead. Had Joseph entered into power too soon, he might not have possessed the wisdom and humility needed to save an entire nation. So it is with you. There are things you call loss, but in truth, I am using them to cut away what is unnecessary and make room for something far better. I know you do not like the unexpected turns in your life. You want everything to be straight, clear, and easy to understand. But often the shortest path is not the best path for your soul. When the people of Israel left Egypt, I did not lead them by the shortest road to the promised land. I led them through the wilderness, because I knew that if they faced battle too soon, fear would drive them back toward the old land of slavery. Some detours in your life are the same. They are not abandonment. They are protection. What you do not understand today will one day become the reason for your gratitude tomorrow. My beloved child, do not let delay cause you to question your worth or my love for you. The sun does not rise earlier simply because you grow impatient, and the harvest does not arrive before its appointed season just because the sower is anxious. There are miracles that require time to be formed in the unseen before they appear in the world your eyes can see. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. As written in Ecclesiastes dry, Ines, I am making all things beautiful in their proper time. And when the moment arrives, what I have prepared for you will not merely be enough, it will surpass what you once dared to ask for. Do not fear the seasons that seem empty. It is within those quiet places that I am speaking more deeply to your soul. Some seeds grow strongest in the darkness of the soil before they rise into the light. You too are being formed in the hidden place of waiting. I am teaching you patience, teaching you dependence, teaching you to walk not through control, but through trust. Mature faith no longer needs to see everything clearly in order to remain at peace. It is at peace because it knows who is holding the future. Remember Peter when he walked upon the water. As long as his eyes remained fixed on me, he stood firm above the waves. But when he looked at the fierce wind and the raging sea, fear caused him to sink. So it is with you. If you look only at your circumstances, confusion will quickly pull you under. But when the eyes of your heart remain fixed upon me, you will realize that no storm is greater than the hand that is holding you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. As written in Hebrews 11:1, I am calling you into a faith deeper than emotion, stronger than fear, and more enduring than every change in circumstance. My beloved child, your future is not held in the hands of chance. It rests in my hands, the hands of the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. No season of your life exists outside of my sovereignty, even on the days when you cry in silence. I am gathering every tear and turning it into a river that will water your future. I am causing all things to work together for good, even when your present vision is not yet wide enough to understand it fully. So today, stop resisting through anxious striving. Give me the questions that still have no answers, the fears you have not yet named, and the plans you cannot control. Let your faith become greater than the unrest within your heart. I do not ask you to understand the entire journey. I simply invite you to take my hand and continue walking day by day. And the time will come when you finally see what I have been quietly building throughout all this time. A miracle that will not only change your circumstances, but transform your very soul into something stronger, deeper, and filled with more light than ever before. My beloved child, prepare your heart, for the season I have appointed for you is drawing nearer with each passing day, even if everything around you still appears calm and unchanged. Even if you continue waking to familiar routines and walking along familiar roads. In the unseen realm, my hand is moving more powerfully than you realize. I am arranging the timing, connecting people, opening paths where things once seemed impossible, and preparing you to step into a new doorway of grace. What I am about to do is not a small and passing change, but a transition carrying the imprint of heaven upon your life. See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. As written in Revelation 3:8, when I decide to make a way for you, no power of fear, opposition, or human limitation can stop what I have ordained. But, my child, do not wait for thunder or magnificent signs in the way the world expects. Many times I enter your life through things that appear very ordinary. The door I open may begin with what seems like a simple encounter, a small invitation, a quiet idea placed within your heart, or an opportunity others would easily overlook. I delight in hiding great things within humble beginnings, so that I alone may be exalted rather than the wisdom of man. Remember, when I chose David, that shepherd boy did not stand in a palace carrying the appearance of a future king. He was simply the youngest son, forgotten out in the fields. Yet I saw within him what no one else could see. So it is with you. There are things I am preparing for you that still appear very ordinary at this moment. Do not despise small beginnings, for many of my greatest miracles begin as the smallest seed. I know that sometimes you grow weary from waiting so long. There have been moments when you questioned whether the promise was truly meant for you. You look around and see others seemingly stepping into new seasons, while you still stand before a door that has not yet opened. But my child, I have never forgotten you. Every delay you have experienced is serving my appointed timing. If I opened the door too soon while your heart was not yet ready, what was meant to become a blessing could instead become a burden. So I use time to prepare your soul before placing into your hands what I have promised. Just as Joseph had to endure hidden years within the prison before stepping into the palace, you too are being refined in secret places, so you may be strong enough to carry what lies ahead. There are people who will not understand what I am doing in your life. They may notice outward changes without realizing that I began moving long ago within the deepest parts of your soul. For before I open doors outwardly, I first enlarge vision inwardly. I am teaching you to think differently, to see differently, and to believe differently. I am breaking the old chains of fear and insecurity within you, so that when the door finally opens, you will not enter as one trembling with uncertainty, but with the heart of someone who knows they have been called by me. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. As written in Deuteronomy 31:8, you are not walking into the future alone. I was there before you ever arrived. Remember Esther. When she was brought into the palace, she did not yet understand that I was preparing her for a moment that could save an entire nation. The days she thought were ordinary arrangements were actually the careful steps by which I positioned her exactly where she needed to be. My beloved child, I am doing the same with you. What today appears to be scattered details will one day come together as the complete picture of my purpose. One day, you will look back and realize that no meeting was accidental. No season of waiting was meaningless. And no door I closed was meant to harm you, but to lead you toward one far better. Do not let the ordinary appearance of the present deceive you. The mightiest river begins as small hidden streams deep within the mountains. The strongest tree was once only a seed buried in the darkness of the soil. What I am doing within you today may not draw attention from the world, but it is fully seen by heaven. I am preparing for you not merely an opportunity, but a spiritual transformation. The door I open will not only change your circumstances, it will open a deeper dimension of your calling, where your life itself becomes a testimony to my faithfulness. Therefore, my child, keep your heart soft and watchful. Do not overlook the small things I place before you, simply because they do not appear impressive in the eyes of the world. Do not reject the first step merely because it does not resemble what you once imagined. I often lead you through humble paths in order to keep your heart close to mine. And when the appointed time arrives, you will know clearly that it was I who opened that door. Because no human hand could create what I am preparing for you. My beloved child, continue walking in trust. Let your faith become stronger than what your eyes can see. I am leading you into a place where old fears will no longer rule over you. I am bringing you into a season of revelation, where the seeds I quietly planted through tears will blossom into a harvest of hope and peace. And when that door finally opens before you, you will understand that every season of waiting, every delay, and every dark night you once walked through was not in vain. All of it was preparation for the moment I would lead you into the very thing heaven ordained for your life long ago. My beloved child, quiet your heart within this stillness, because I want you to hear clearly what I am whispering into your soul. A new season is drawing very near, even though your eyes still see familiar days unfolding one after another, even though the rhythm of life around you appears unchanged. In the unseen places beyond your sight, I am moving every detail into place. I am arranging the timing, preparing the road ahead, and making a way through places that once seemed closed. And before long, you will realize that these days which appeared ordinary were actually the final moments before I brought you into a major turning point in your life. I am not speaking of a fleeting opportunity like those the world gives and then quickly takes away. What I am preparing is a door opened by my own power and will. When I open it, no human hand can shut it. No opposition is strong enough to stop what I have ordained for you. See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. As written in Revelation 3:8, that was not merely a promise for people of the past. It is the word I am speaking over your life today. There are doors you once tried to force open by your own strength, yet could not move. There are places where you knocked for so long without receiving an answer. But my child, when my appointed time comes, a single breath from me is enough to open what you could never accomplish by yourself after years of striving. Do not think that this door will always appear with the grandeur you once imagined. I often hide great things within what seems ordinary. A conversation that appears simple, a small invitation, an opportunity others dismiss, an idea that suddenly enters your heart while you pray. I delight in working in ways that cause humble hearts to recognize that I alone am the one acting. Remember when I called Moses, not in a magnificent palace, but through a burning bush in the wilderness? Remember when I chose Mary, she was only an ordinary young woman from a small village. And when the Savior entered the world, he was not born amid the trumpet blasts of human glory, but in a humble manger in Bethlehem. Do you see? My child, I often place my glory within the very things the world is quick to overlook. My beloved child, I know there were times when you grew weary from waiting. There were nights when you questioned whether what I promised would truly come to pass. You looked at your life and thought everything remained unmoving, as though your prayers were disappearing into silent emptiness. But my child, the silence of heaven does not mean I am not at work. A farmer plants seed and must wait many days before seeing the first sprout emerge. Yet during all that time, beneath the dark soil, life is quietly forming. So it is with you. What I am preparing for you began long before you ever saw the first sign of it. I am preparing not only a new door for you, but also your soul to walk through that door. If I opened it too soon, while your heart was still bound by fear, insecurity, or doubt, you might step into it without the strength to hold what I am giving you. That is why I use these seasons of waiting to strengthen your faith, to teach you how to depend upon me rather than upon emotions or circumstances. Just as Joshua had to learn to trust me before leading the people into the promised land, you too are being prepared for a new territory in your life. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. As written in Joshua 1:9, I am not calling you to walk alone. I go before you in every step. Perhaps when that door opens, others will not understand what I am doing in your life. They may see only a small outward change, but you will know that it is a spiritual transformation I have been preparing for a long time. For that door will not simply lead you into a new circumstance. It will open a deeper dimension in your relationship with me. I am leading you into a place where your faith no longer depends upon what is familiar, but upon my living presence with you each day. Remember Esther, when she was brought into the royal palace, she could not yet understand that I was preparing her for the moment she would help save an entire nation. What appeared ordinary was actually every step I had quietly arranged. So it is with you, my beloved child. The encounters you think are accidental, the small changes you barely notice, the doors that close and later open again, all of them are held within my hands. Nothing in your life happens outside of my understanding. Therefore, do not despise these present days simply because they do not yet appear miraculous. Dawn always begins with a small light upon the horizon. A great harvest always begins with a seed buried in dark soil. And the door I have prepared for you may also begin with something very simple. But when it opens, you will recognize that it was truly I who did it, because no one else could create the peace, the certainty, and the life that I will place within your heart in that moment. My beloved child, prepare your heart with watchfulness and gratitude. Do not let fear cause you to retreat when I am calling you forward. Do not let memories of old failures make you doubt the new thing I am opening before you. I did not bring you to this threshold only to abandon you. The one who opens the door is also the one who will lead you through it. And when you step into that new season, you will understand that every moment of waiting, every tear, and every season that seemed hopeless was necessary preparation for the moment when I would reveal my faithfulness in your life. My beloved child, keep your heart steadfast in these days of transition, for the hour I have appointed is drawing very near. This is no longer the time for you to retreat in fear or allow old doubts to cloud the calling I have placed within your soul. I am calling you to rise with a courage born not from human strength, but from faith. Perhaps the circumstances around you still appear unclear, but my child, do not let your eyes remain fixed only upon what is visible. Lift your eyes toward me, the one who holds your yesterday, your today, and your future within my faithful hands. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. As written in Proverbs 3:5, there are things your mind cannot yet understand today, but your soul will recognize them as you continue walking with me. I am the one who carried you through every dark season before, and I will not leave you standing alone at the threshold of what is new. If I open a way for you, then I have already prepared the destination ahead of you. I never call you into a door that opens only into emptiness. Before you ever see the door, I have already gone before you to arrange every detail. I have prepared the people who will support you at the right moment, the opportunities that will appear at the appointed time, and even the resources you once believed you could never reach. What seems sudden to you has long been part of my plan. Just as I sent Elijah to the brook Cherith during the season of famine, I had already prepared provision before he ever arrived there. The ravens had already been commanded to bring him food even before he saw the miracle with his own eyes. So it is with you, my child. Before you step into this new season, I have already placed heaven's provision along the road you are about to walk. But my beloved child, I know that sometimes the past still tries to pull you backward. Old failures, former wounds, and memories that once caused you to doubt yourself can make you tremble before the new thing I am opening before you. There are quiet voices within your heart whispering that you are not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough for the door I have prepared. But my child, do not listen to the voice of fear. If I have called you, then I myself will also make you strong enough to walk forward. Moses once believed he was not capable of standing before Pharaoh. Gideon saw himself as the weakest and least significant. Jeremiah said he was only a child. Yet I did not choose them because they appeared strong in the eyes of men. I chose them because they were willing to let me work through their lives. My power is revealed most fully not through your own strength, but through your surrender and trust in me. Therefore, when that door appears, do not hesitate because of fear of failure. Do not retreat into the old tent of false safety simply because the new land feels unfamiliar. Remember Peter when he stepped out of the boat onto the water. As long as his eyes remained fixed upon me, the waves could not drown him. So it will be with you. If the eyes of your heart remain fixed upon me, you will realize that what sustains you is not your own ability, but the mighty hand of the one who called you to step out. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. As written in Philippians 4:13, the strength you need for this new season will not come from striving in your own effort, but from my presence flowing through you day by day. My beloved child, when you step through the door I open, you will experience a peace unlike anything the world has ever given you, not because every difficulty disappears instantly, but because you know with certainty that I am with you. The peace I give does not depend upon stable circumstances. It comes from the assurance that you are standing exactly where I desire you to be. And within those new steps, I will continue guiding you each day. I will not lead you into new territory only to leave you there alone. Just as the pillar of cloud and the pillar of fire guided the people of Israel through the wilderness, so my living presence will guide you as well. Some days you will see the path clearly, other days you will see only enough light for a single small step ahead. Yet every step remains within my hands. Do not doubt your value any longer. My child, I have prepared you for this very moment. The seasons of testing you passed through were not meaningless. Every time you fell and rose again, every time you cried in silence, every time you chose to continue believing while your heart was filled with confusion, all of it was shaping your soul for this present hour. I am making you into an instrument through which my light may reach others. What I am doing through your life will not stop with you alone. It will touch souls who are desperate, who need hope, who need to see that I am still moving upon this earth. So today, let your faith become greater than your fear. Let my voice become stronger than the old memories that once kept you bound in chains. When the door opens, step forward with gratitude and courage. And as you walk, you will recognize more clearly than ever that this is not a work accomplished by your own strength. I myself am orchestrating all things. I am the one making the way, sustaining you, and leading you forward. You will see my hand in every encounter, every opportunity, and every turning point. And then your soul will rise in praise, because you will know that the one who called you is also the faithful one, who will complete what he began within you. My beloved child, keep your heart quiet before my presence and listen with spiritual ears, because there are things I am doing within you that must be guarded with wisdom and watchfulness. Not everyone who walks beside you will understand what I am forming within your soul. When I plant a new vision, a new promise, or a new calling into your life. It often appears fragile at first in human eyes. There will be those who rejoice with you sincerely, but there will also be those who look upon it with doubt, mockery, or words that shake your faith. Therefore, I am teaching you to protect holy things within the hidden place of prayer before they reach their season of revelation. Do not think that everything I give must immediately be announced to everyone around you. There are seasons when I desire for you to learn how to remain hidden within me. A seed does not grow exposed upon the surface beneath the harsh wind and sun. It takes root deep within hidden soil before it rises into a great tree. In the same way, the things I plant within your soul must be covered by faith, watered through prayer, and nourished through closeness with me. If you pull the seed up too early just to see how much it has grown, you may wound the very thing I am forming. He has made everything beautiful in its time. As written in Ecclesiastes, dry, elf, I am never late, but neither do I move according to the impatience of human desire. Remember Mary, the mother of Christ, when the angel spoke of the wondrous thing I was about to do through her. Not everyone around her could understand it. There may have been doubtful eyes, whispers, and misunderstanding surrounding her. Yet Scripture says that Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. There are sacred things that must first be kept within the heart before the day of their revelation arrives. So it is with you, my beloved child. Not every vision I place within you should be handed over for others to judge while it is still young and tender. Some things are meant to remain between you and me until the appointed time has fully come. I am not teaching you to close yourself off out of fear of people, but I am teaching you spiritual wisdom. Even Christ withdrew from the crowds at times to be alone with the Father before stepping into great moments. There are things I do in the hidden place before I reveal them openly. The world often wants everything to appear immediately, to be recognized quickly, to be seen and applauded. But I work according to the rhythm of heaven, not the impatience of mankind. I care more about the depth of the roots than the display of the branches. A tree may look small on the outside, but if its roots have grown deep, no storm can overthrow it. My beloved child, there will be times when you are tempted to share everything as soon as you receive it, simply to seek confirmation from others. But true confirmation does not come from the applause of people. It comes from my peace within your soul. If I have spoken, my word remains true even when no one else understands it yet. Joseph received great dreams from me when he was young, but the haste of telling them too soon led him into years of pain and misunderstanding. Yet, even that I used to refine him. Learn from this, my child. Not everything I show you needs to be announced immediately. Some visions must mature in silence before they are revealed in power. Do not be afraid when others do not understand your journey. An eagle does not learn to fly amid the noise of chickens on the ground. I am lifting your vision higher, deeper, and farther. And in this season, I want you to focus more on my voice than on the voice of the crowd. Be still and know that I am God. As written in Psalm 46-10, there are revelations that can only be heard clearly in the quiet place of closeness with me, not in the chaos of too many voices around you. I know that sometimes you grow impatient because you want to see results immediately. You want visible change. You want the door to open now. You want what I promised to come to pass quickly. But my child, fruit picked before its season will never carry its full sweetness. If I delay something, it is not because I have forgotten you, but because I am protecting the good thing I have prepared for you from being damaged by the wrong timing. A wise farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check whether it has grown. He patiently waters the soil and trusts that life is quietly working beneath the surface. I am teaching you that kind of faith, a faith that knows how to wait without losing hope. Remember David. I anointed him as king when he was still very young. Yet he had to pass through many years of running, many nights in caves, and many seasons of being misunderstood before the promise was fulfilled. I could have placed him on the throne immediately, but I wanted to build within him a heart deep enough to carry such a great responsibility. So it is with you. What I am preparing for you does not require only talent or desire. It requires a soul refined through waiting and surrender. So today, my beloved child, guard the seed I have planted within you. Do not let negative words, doubtful eyes, or the impatience of human hearts pull you away from my appointed timing. Continue praying, continue trusting, and continue walking closely with me. When my season arrives, what was once hidden will bloom like a golden field beneath the sunlight. And when that happens, no one will be able to stop what I have decided to reveal in your life, because I am the one who opens the door, and no power can shut what I have ordained for you. My beloved child, there are seasons when I do not call you to step out into the crowd, but to draw deeper into the hidden place with me. Do not misunderstand that silence as delay or forgetfulness. I am using that very quietness to protect the precious thing I have planted within your soul. Not everyone can understand what I am forming in you, because not every heart is familiar with the language of heaven. Some people see only with natural eyes, so they cannot recognize the value of what is born of the Spirit. Therefore, I am teaching you discernment not so you may become cold toward others, but so you may know how to guard what is sacred until the right time. Do not cast your pearls before swine. As written in Matthew 7:6, I did not speak those words so you would despise others, but so you would understand that certain treasures must be placed in the right place, before the right people, and in the right season. Some things I speak to you are not meant to be immediately brought before the world in search of approval. There are visions, promises, and spiritual dreams that must first be guarded in prayer before they are revealed openly. If you try to explain sacred things to hearts that are not yet ready, you may find yourself pulled into unnecessary weariness, doubt, and hurt. Therefore, I am teaching you how to remain silent at the right time, how to keep the right distance in the right places, and how to allow certain things to grow quietly in the hidden place between you and me. Look at the seed buried in the soil. When it is first planted, nothing outwardly appears to change. No one walking past the field can see what is happening beneath the dark earth. Yet it is precisely within that hidden covering that life begins to take root. If the farmer becomes impatient and digs up the seed every day to check its growth, he will destroy the very process he longs to see fulfilled. So it is with you, my beloved child. There are things I am doing within you that require time to grow deep roots before they can bear fruit. I do not want you merely to possess the outward appearance of blessing. I want you to have the depth necessary to sustain that blessing when it arrives. Do not fear being overlooked simply because others cannot yet see what I am preparing for you. What comes from me does not require you to strive, compete, or elevate yourself in order to gain attention. When my appointed time comes, I myself will open the door and place you exactly where I have destined you to be. David was anointed by me long before he ever sat upon the throne. During all those years of shepherding sheep and hiding in the wilderness, many may have believed the promise had been forgotten, but I never forgot. I was building within him a humble heart and a soul that knew how to depend upon me before entrusting him with greater things. So it is with you. Your hidden seasons are not meaningless stretches of time. They are the places where I am digging deep foundations for your future. There will be moments when you are tempted to rush ahead, to force the door open more quickly because you fear missing your opportunity. But, my child, what I have ordained for you cannot be stolen away. What God opens, no one can shut. As spoken in Revelation 3:7, If an opportunity truly comes from me, it will not disappear simply because you choose to wait in obedience. The world teaches you that if you do not run fast enough, you will be left behind. But my kingdom does not operate through human panic. I move according to the perfect rhythm of heaven, and within that rhythm, what I have prepared for you will arrive at the right time, neither too early nor too late. Remember Joseph. Had he been elevated too soon, before his character was refined, power might have destroyed him instead of enabling him to save many lives. So I allowed years of waiting, trials, and loneliness to form wisdom and spiritual depth within him. And when the appointed time arrived, he did not need to prove himself. I myself lifted him before the eyes of all people. My beloved child, I will do the same for you. When I reveal my work in your life, you will not need to fight to preserve it, because I, myself, will protect what I have established. Do not allow your heart to be driven by the voice of impatience. A tree that bears abundant fruit must possess very deep roots. If the roots remain shallow, strong winds will uproot it before the harvest ever comes. That is why I am using this present season to deepen your faith in me. I am teaching you how to live not through the approval of others, but through my presence. There are things that can only be fully formed within the hidden place of prayer and surrender. My beloved child, walk in wisdom and humility. Do not try to force what I am quietly nurturing. Do not let doubtful eyes discourage you, nor allow premature praise to pull you away from simplicity before me. Continue tending the seed I have planted within you through prayer, faithfulness, and trust. Whoever is faithful in very little will also be faithful in much. As written in Luke 16:10, I am watching how you steward the small things today before entrusting you with greater things tomorrow. And then the time will come when I call your name openly. What was once hidden in tears will bloom in the light. What quietly grew beneath the soil will become a great tree beneath, whose shade many will find rest. And in that moment, you will understand why I asked you to wait, why I taught you silence, and why I kept you close to me during hidden seasons. For I do not merely desire to bless you, I desire to prepare you to steward that blessing with wisdom, humility, and glory that belongs to me alone. My beloved child, allow your heart to open deeply to what I am gently placing within your soul during this season. The blessings I am preparing are not merely rewards for the days you faithfully walked with me, but an invitation into a deeper maturity. I do not pour abundance into your life so you may keep it only for yourself. I fill you so that you may become a river carrying life into places that have grown dry. Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them. As written in John 7:38, I did not create you merely to survive within the safety of your own world. I created you to become an instrument that carries light, hope, and healing to souls that are lost. My child, perhaps you once believed the painful seasons you endured were nothing more than meaningless hardships. But I tell you this, not one tear you have shed has been wasted in my hands. The very trials you overcame have deepened the light within you. A person who has never walked through the night cannot fully understand the beauty of dawn, and a soul that has never been healed by me from brokenness will struggle to carry true comfort to others. That is why I used even your weakest days to form mercy and gentleness within you. What once wounded you will now become the place where my light shines through most powerfully. Look at the lighthouse standing in the darkness of the sea. It does not calm the storm, nor does it stop the crashing waves, but its light keeps ships from being swallowed by the night. I am calling you to become like that in this world. There are people around you who are exhausted, lost, and convinced there is no way back home, and your transformed life will become a sign reminding them that I am still present. You are the light of the world. As written in Matthew 5:14, but my child, That light does not come from your own strength. It comes from remaining close to me. Just as the moon can only reflect light when it turns toward the sun, I know there are times when you feel small and incapable of influencing anyone. You look at your limitations and think that surely I should choose someone stronger, wiser, or more gifted. But remember the boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. In human eyes, it was far too little. Yet once it was placed into my hands, it became enough to feed thousands. So it is with you. I do not require your perfection. I desire a willing heart that I can use. What seems small in your hands becomes abundant when surrendered into mine, my beloved child. With every blessing comes spiritual responsibility. When I lift you up, it is not so you may exalt yourself, but so you may reflect my glory more clearly. I do not want you to become a lake that keeps water only for itself, but a river that continually flows outward. There are people I will place along your path, not by accident. A gentle word from you may lift up a soul standing at the edge of despair. A simple act of kindness may become the first sign of hope for someone ready to give up. Do not underestimate the small things I lead you to do each day. For my kingdom is often built through quiet seeds like these. Remember Esther. I did not place her in the palace merely so she could live in wealth and safety. I positioned her there so that at the appointed time she could become an instrument to save an entire nation. So it is with you, my beloved child. The things I am giving you are not only for personal comfort. I am preparing you to become someone who carries life to others. Perhaps you cannot yet see the fullness of that purpose, but I am placing you exactly where you need to be for the moment I have appointed. Therefore, do not fear when I call you deeper into spiritual maturity. A lamp placed high upon a stand must endure stronger winds, but it also shines farther. I am teaching you to live not only for yourself, but for something greater than yourself. There are souls who will find hope when they see how you continue standing firm through trials. There are people who will recognize my love through the peace you carry in the midst of chaos. And there are hearts that will return to the light because they see that light reflected through your life. My beloved child, do not hide the light I have placed within you because of fear or insecurity. A city set upon a hill cannot be hidden. But remember this, true light always walks together with humility. Do not allow blessing to make you forget the one who blessed you. Do not let the approval of people pull your heart away from simplicity before me. The tree that bears the most fruit bends lowest toward the ground. I desire for you to shine, but to shine through love, gentleness, and mercy that come from me. Let your life become a living testimony that I am still moving upon this earth. When you choose love in a cold world, my light is shining through you. When you forgive in the midst of pain, heaven is touching the earth through you. When you continue hoping during difficult days, you become a living prophecy of my faithfulness. Let your light shine before others. As written in Matthew 5:16, so that those who see your life will not glorify you, but will recognize the glory of the Father in heaven. Therefore today, continue allowing me to fill your soul. Remain close to me, like a branch abiding in the true vine. For apart from me, your light will slowly fade. But when you remain in me, the life of heaven will continually flow through you, and then your very life will become a lighthouse in the darkness, guiding lost souls back toward the harbor of everlasting peace within my love. My beloved child, engrave this deeply within your heart. Everything I place into your hands carries a purpose greater than yourself. I do not give grace and favor merely for you to store away as a private treasure, but so you may become an extension of my love in this world. Every blessing is a seed of the kingdom of heaven planted into your life, so that through you it may continue to grow and touch many other souls. Freely you have received, freely give. As written in Matthew 10:8, when I fill you with wisdom, peace, or abundance. I am also inviting you to become a flowing river rather than a lake that keeps everything for itself. If I place words of comfort upon your lips, do not remain silent before hearts that are desperate. There are people around you who are far more weary than you realize. They smile outwardly while inwardly they are exhausted. And sometimes a single gentle word spoken from genuine love is enough to pull a soul back from the edge of darkness. If I have given you understanding through the painful seasons you endured, it is not so you may boast in your growth, but so you may know how to bend down and help others rise again. Carry one another's burdens. As taught in Galatians 6:2, I desire for you to become a place where others encounter the warmth of heaven in the midst of this cold world. My beloved child, if I bless you with provision or abundance, do not allow your heart to become bound by selfish accumulation. Remember that bread only fulfills its purpose when it is broken and shared. Remember the boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. In human hands, it seemed insignificant, but when the boy placed what he had into my hands, I used it to feed thousands. So it is with you. Perhaps you think you have very little to offer a bit of time, a prayer, a small act of kindness, but in my hands, those small things can become miracles in someone else's life. I want you to understand that the true power of blessing is not found in how much you keep, but in how willingly you give with a loving heart. The world teaches people to hold tightly so they will not lose what they have. But my kingdom operates according to a different principle. It is when you open your hands that I continue filling them again. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. As written in Luke 6:38, the more sincerely you share, the more abundantly the river of blessing continues flowing through your life. My beloved child, do not underestimate the testimony I have written through your life. Every time you collapsed, and I lifted you up again. Every night you cried in loneliness, and I comforted you. Every season you believed you could not survive, yet somehow kept walking forward. All of these are precious pages in the story I am using to touch others. There are souls in despair who need to hear that I still heal. And your story itself will become a small flame, helping them believe that dawn can still come after the longest night. Remember the Samaritan woman at the well. When I touched her life and filled the emptiness within her soul, she was no longer the lonely woman hiding from the eyes of others. She became someone who ran back to tell an entire city that she had encountered the one who gives living water. So it is with you, my child. What I am doing in your life is not only to heal you, but so that through you, many others may come to know that I am still moving and working today. The scars you once felt ashamed of will become living evidence of my mercy and kindness. Do not think that what you give away will leave you lacking. I never allow those who sow in love to live in emptiness. A farmer who scatters seed into the soil may no longer see the seed in his hands for a season. Yet that very act of sowing prepares the way for a greater harvest ahead. The more you strengthen others with what I have given you, the more I expand your soul to receive even more from me. There are new doors that will open through your generosity. There are new streams of grace that will begin to flow when you no longer live only for yourself. My beloved child, blessing is not the final destination of the journey. It is the beginning of a new flow of life. I do not want you imprisoned by the fear of loss. I want your heart to be wide open like the sky after the rain, so that my love may freely flow through you into the world. A tree is truly alive only when it bears fruit. A lamp fulfills its purpose only when it gives light. And so it is with you. Only when you allow what I have given you to flow beyond yourself will you experience the true fullness of my kingdom. Keep your heart tender toward the pain of others. Let your eyes notice those who quietly long to be loved. Do not wait until you have abundance before you begin to give. The widow in Scripture possessed only 2 small coins, yet I saw within her a heart greater than all the overflowing offerings around her. What I seek is not the material value of what you give, but the love placed within it. So today, my beloved child, walk as a faithful steward of all I have entrusted to you. Use your words to heal rather than wound. Use your strength to lift others up rather than dominate them. Use the blessings you have received to open pathways of hope for those around you. And as you live this way, you will discover a sacred mystery of my kingdom. The one who gives in love will never run dry, because I myself am the unfailing source of life for them. My beloved child, what I have placed within your life is not merely a journey of receiving, but an invitation into a life of giving. I did not create you simply to stand beneath the rain of blessing and keep it all for yourself. I desire for you to become a river carrying life into dry lands, a hand lifting up the weary, a small yet steady light in a world full of darkness. This is the deeper meaning of the calling I have given you, not so that you may be exalted, but so that through your life many others may recognize that my love is still touching this earth. Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. As written in Matthew 20:26, in my kingdom, greatness is not measured by what you keep for yourself, but by what you are willing to pour out in love. As you walk within this calling, you will discover something beautiful. True blessing never runs dry when it continues to flow outward. Water that remains still for too long becomes stagnant, but water that keeps flowing preserves life. So it is with your soul. When you use what I have given you to love, heal, and encourage others, you will feel my life continually renewing you from within. And while you are pouring out, I will quietly continue filling you again. Then every step you take will become an answer to the call of heaven, until the day you hear my gentle voice say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," not because you were perfect, but because you lived with a willing heart that I could use. But my beloved child, I know there will be moments when you pause in the middle of the journey and feel your heart trembling. There will be days when you look at what I am placing before you and think it is far too great for your abilities. You will see the calling before you like someone standing beside a vast ocean, feeling small before something greater than your understanding. And questions will begin to rise within your mind. Am I truly strong enough? Can I really do what he is asking of me? I know those questions well, because I see every small movement within your heart. But my child, it is precisely in the moment you realize you are not enough that I can reveal to you that I am the one who is more than enough. Stop relying upon your own strength. Human strength is like the morning mist that quickly disappears beneath the sunlight. But my strength never fails. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. As written in 2 Corinthians 12:9, I did not call you because you are stronger than others. I called you because you know how to return to me when you are weak. Your dependence upon me will become your greatest strength. A branch cannot bear fruit by itself if it is separated from the vine. In the same way, your soul will grow exhausted if you try to carry your calling through your own effort. But when you remain in me, the life of heaven will continue flowing through you without ceasing. Remember Moses when I called him to stand before Pharaoh. He trembled and repeatedly insisted that he was not capable, not eloquent enough, not strong enough for the assignment I had given him. But I never asked him to become great by his own power. I simply said, I will be with you. And that presence changed everything. So it is with you. My beloved child, what enables you to fulfill your calling is not your perfection, but my presence walking with you each day. There are burdens I never intended for you to carry alone. You have grown accustomed to trying to stand strong by yourself, trying to fix everything on your own, trying to make yourself stronger, so no one will see the fragility hidden within you. But I did not create you to live beneath that endless strain. I want you to learn how to rest your head upon me like a child resting against the chest of a loving father. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. As written in Isaiah 40:31, it is not only the strong who receive new strength, it is those who know how to come to me in their weariness who are renewed by heaven. My beloved child, when you feel overwhelmed by what I have entrusted to you, remember that I am not asking you to see the entire journey all at once. I ask only that you remain faithful with today's step. A lamp in the darkness does not illuminate the whole road ahead. It gives enough light for the next step forward. And that is how I will lead you. One day at a time. One step at a time. One season. One new lesson. I do not force a seed to become a mighty tree overnight. I patiently nurture it until its roots grow deep enough to carry the weight of abundant fruit. And I am being patient with you in the same way. Do not fear when you feel weak, because often it is precisely in weakness that my power is revealed most clearly. Gideon believed he was the least and weakest of all, yet I used him to defeat a vast army. David was only a young shepherd boy, yet I used him to bring down Goliath. What the world calls weakness, I can transform into an instrument that reveals my glory. Therefore, do not look at your limitations and conclude that you cannot continue. Lift your eyes toward me, the one who called you, who guides you, and who remains with you. My beloved child, the calling I have placed upon you is not a burden meant to crush you, but a path through which your soul becomes most alive within me. As you walk within that calling, even though there will be moments of weariness, you will still discover a deep joy that the world cannot give. For you will know that your life is being used for something of eternal value. And through every small step of faithfulness, my light will continue spreading outward, touching souls that are longing for hope, peace, and true love. My beloved child, there will be seasons when your soul feels heavy, as though you are carrying an entire mountain upon your shoulders. There will be mornings when you awaken already exhausted before the day has even begun. You look at the responsibilities before you, the silent battles within your mind, the pain that is difficult to name, and you wonder how you can possibly continue. I see it all. I see the tears you hide behind your smile. I see the moments you try to appear strong while inwardly you are completely drained. And my child, I want you to know that I never intended for you to carry all these things through your own strength. Sometimes you think that if your faith were stronger, you would never feel weary again. But true faith is not pretending that you are never weak. Faith is trusting me enough to place into my hands what you are no longer able to carry alone. Cast all your cares upon him, because he cares for you. As written in 1 Peter 5:7, I did not speak those words merely as a beautiful comfort while leaving you to struggle by yourself. They are a genuine invitation from heaven to your soul. I want you to learn how to lay down the things that are making your heart so heavy, so you no longer live like someone desperately trying to hold everything together, with hands already exhausted. When you feel you no longer have the strength to keep walking, do not be afraid to rest within my arms. There are stretches of the journey you will never cross alone, and I do not condemn you for that. A loving father does not watch his child collapse without rushing to lift them up. I am the same with you. When your legs tremble, I will carry you through the darkest places. Under his wings you shall find refuge. As written in Psalm 91, you are not alone in your battle. Even when no one else fully understands what you are enduring, I remain there beside you, closer than your own breath. I know there are nights when you want to pray, but your soul feels so empty that you cannot even find words to speak. You sit in silence and wonder whether I still hear you. But my beloved child, even within that silence, I understand the cry of your heart. The The Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. As written in Romans 8:26, there are prayers that do not need spoken language, even a single tear, even one heavy breath released into the night. I understand completely. I do not require you to always appear strong or always know how to express everything perfectly. I only ask that you remain close to me, even when you no longer have words left to say. My beloved child, I did not call you into a life crushed beneath unbearable burdens. I called you into rest within me. But the rest I give is not surrendering the journey or abandoning the path. It is a deep peace that comes from knowing that even when you cannot control everything, I still remain in control. A child sleeps peacefully in the arms of a father not because the child understands the entire road ahead, but because the child trusts the arms carrying them. I want you to learn to trust me in that same way. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. As written in Matthew 11:28, I do not wait for you to fix yourself before giving you rest. I invite you to come exactly as you are, even in your present exhaustion. Remember Elijah when he collapsed beneath the broom tree. After all the great spiritual battles he had fought, he fell down weary and wanted to give up everything. Yet I did not rebuke him for his weariness. I gave him rest. I sent an angel to bring him bread and water. Then little by little, I restored his strength and renewed his soul before continuing the journey with him. So it is with you, my child. There are times when what your soul truly needs is not to run faster, but to sit quietly within my presence and be renewed again. My beloved child, often you carry burdens for so long that you begin believing they are your responsibility alone. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But I am teaching you that not everything belongs upon your shoulders. Some battles belong to me, not to you. Some doors I will open myself without you exhausting your strength trying to force them open. Some miracles only happen when you stop trying to control everything and begin to trust me instead. The people of Israel did not part the Red Sea through their own strength. They only needed to move forward when I made the way. So it is with you. What you need is not unlimited human strength, but surrender before my power. When you learn to lay your burdens at my feet, you will discover your soul becoming lighter. The hands that once clung tightly to anxiety will finally become empty enough to receive the new things I desire to give you. A person whose arms are filled with stones cannot receive another gift. I am inviting you to release the things that weigh you down so your heart may open again to peace, hope, and renewed strength from me. Do not fear if you do not yet understand the entire journey ahead. I understand it fully. Do not panic because you cannot control every detail. I am still in control. Do not believe your weakness disappoints me. Often it is within your weakest places that my power shines most clearly. My power is made perfect in weakness. As written in 2 Corinthians 12:9, I am not asking you to become someone who never grows weary. I am simply inviting you to become a child who knows how to return to the Father when weary. So today, my beloved child, breathe deeply within my presence. Lay down at my feet the worries you have carried for far too long. Stop forcing yourself to survive each day as though everything depends upon you alone. I am here. I am holding you up even when you cannot feel it. And little by little, I will renew your soul until you finally realize that what sustained you throughout this entire journey was never your own strength, but always my unfailing love and endless grace. My beloved child, let your heart grow still before me, like a quiet lake beneath the light of dawn, so that you may clearly hear my gentle voice calling your name. There are days when the road ahead is covered in fog, and moments when the storms of life shake your heart. But it is precisely in those moments that I am inviting you into a deeper level of trust. Do not trust me only when everything goes smoothly, when prayers are answered quickly, or when doors open exactly the way you hoped they would. Trust me, even when all you see is silence, even when the promise still seems hidden in secret places, even when the plan I have for you has not yet become visible before your eyes. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. As written in Psalm 18:2, when everything around you is shaking, I remain the unshakable foundation beneath your feet. I know there are times when you wonder why the road has become so winding, why certain doors remain closed, no matter how long you knock, and why the things you trusted must endure such long seasons of waiting. But my child, do not rush to judge my faithfulness based on only one small portion of the journey. A person looking at the underside of a tapestry sees only tangled threads, but the weaver sees the entire pattern taking shape. You are seeing only a small part, while I see the whole picture. For I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. As written in Jeremiah 29:11, my intentions toward you are not written by chance, but by love, wisdom, and everlasting faithfulness. Remember Abraham. I called him to leave his homeland without showing him the full land he would one day inherit. He had to walk forward before he could see the promise fulfilled. There were nights when he looked up at the stars and could only cling to my word, even though his body had grown old and his circumstances seemed to stand against all hope. Yet I did not fail him. What I spoke, I fulfilled. So it is with you, my beloved child. Perhaps today you are holding on to only a small promise in the middle of a vast night. But if that promise came from me, it is more certain than anything your eyes can see. Faith is not possessing all the answers. Faith is taking hold of my hand while the answers are still hidden. Do not fear the doors that close before you. Some things you see as obstacles, I am using as protective walls around your life. There are roads you desire to walk, but if I allowed them, they could lead you away from the peace I have prepared for you. When I close a door, it is not always rejection. Often it is protection. When I lead you along a longer path, it is not because I desire to exhaust you. Often it is the necessary road through which your heart is prepared. Your faith is deepened, and your soul becomes strong enough for the harvest ahead. My beloved child, the seeds of faith you sow today are not buried in vain. Beneath the soil of waiting, my grace is quietly watering them. You may not yet see green shoots breaking through the ground, but life is still working in hidden places. A farmer does not see the harvest immediately after sowing seed, yet he continues tending the soil because he trusts the law of life. I am teaching you in the same way, patience in prayer, faithfulness in small things, and peace during the days when results are not yet visible. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. As written in Galatians 6:9, your harvest will come at the exact time I have appointed. It is your trust in the darkness that will become the strongest testimony once the light breaks through. Anyone can sing when the sun is shining brightly, but the one who still worships in the middle of the night is the one who has come to know me, not merely through stories, but through the living experience of the soul, just as Paul and Silas praised me inside the prison, surrounded by chains and wounds. You too can lift up faith, even when your circumstances have not yet changed. And then, at the appointed time, I will shake the walls that once imprisoned you and open a way of escape that you could never create through your own strength. Therefore, my child, place your full trust in me. Do not let temporary silence make you doubt an eternal promise. Do not let today's winding paths cause you to forget that I am a loving Father who never changes. I am working quietly, arranging every detail, using even the things you do not yet understand to serve your greatest good. Keep walking forward, even if it is only one small step. Keep praying, even if your prayer has become only a weary sigh. Keep believing, even when your eyes cannot yet see, for I am with you. And when the light finally breaks forth, you will realize that not a single moment of this journey ever existed outside of my loving hands. My beloved child, always keep your heart soft before me when blessings begin to bloom in your life. There will be seasons when I make a way for you, lift you out of darkness, cause the work of your hands to prosper, and allow others to see the light within you. But my child, even in those moments, remember who the source of every good thing truly is. Do not let success cause your soul to forget how to bow low. Do not allow the praise of people to make my voice grow distant within your heart. Every good and perfect gift is from above. As written in James 1:17, whatever beauty shines through your life does not originate from your own strength, but from my grace flowing through you day after day. I did not call you to exalt yourself before the world, but to become an instrument reflecting my glory. A lamp does not create its own light. It shines only when connected to its source of power. So it is with you. You truly shine only when you remain close to me. If you try to become great through your own effort without depending upon me, your soul will slowly dry out, even while outwardly you still appear strong. But when you continue humbling yourself before me, I will cause the light within you to shine farther than you ever imagined. Whoever humbles himself will be exalted. As written in Luke 14:11, in my kingdom, the closer you draw to me, the more you learn humility, because you understand that everything you possess is a gift from the Father's hand. My beloved child, I desire your faith to become more than beautiful words. I want it to become the very breath of your daily life. I want others to sense my presence through the way you live, through the way your eyes look upon people, through the words you speak, and through the gentleness you offer. There are souls who may never open a Bible, yet they will read my love through your life. Therefore, let your words carry warmth that heals instead of coldness that wounds. Let the way you treat others reflect the mercy I have shown toward you. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. As written in Colossians 3:12, true faith is not only heard through words, it is seen through the way a soul walks through life. Do not wait until you believe yourself perfect before thinking you can testify about me. If I used only those who had never been broken, there would be no one left in this world for me to use. The very scars I have healed within you will become your strongest testimony. Remember the Samaritan woman at the well. She did not possess a flawless past. Yet once I touched her life, she became the one who carried good news to an entire city. So it is with you. My beloved child, what I seek is not flawless perfection, but a sincere heart willing to let me shine through healed weakness. I am calling you to become light in dark places, but not so the world may praise you. True light does not seek attention for itself. It simply shines so others may find the way. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. As written in Matthew 5:16, when you live with love and sincerity, those around you will not merely see you, they will sense my presence flowing through your life. My beloved child, do not underestimate the small things I lead you to do each day. A word of encouragement spoken at the right moment may rescue someone from despair. A quiet act of kindness may become the first ray of light in someone's life after many dark nights. The world often searches for things that are grand and spectacular, but my kingdom is often built through small seeds planted in love. Remember the widow who offered only 2 small coins. In the eyes of the world, It seemed insignificant, but I saw the fullness of her heart within it. I do not measure value by the size of the act, but by the love placed inside it. My beloved child, hold this truth deep within your soul, like a flame that never dies in the midst of strong winds. I have never begun a work in you, only to abandon it halfway through. The one who called your name out of darkness is the same one who will lead you until every promise I have spoken is fulfilled completely. Perhaps today you still see weaknesses within yourself that have not fully changed, fears that sometimes return, and roads ahead that remain unclear. But my child, do not judge my work by only one brief season. A potter does not abandon the vessel while it is still being shaped. A gardener does not uproot the vine simply because its first season bears little fruit. Neither will I abandon you. He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. As written in Philippians 1:6, what I have started in you will not remain unfinished, for my own hands are sustaining it. I know there are times when you worry about the outcome, afraid that you may not be faithful enough or strong enough to finish the journey I have set before you. But I have never required you to see the entire road before taking the next step. I ask only that you remain faithful with today's step. One day, live close to me. One sincere prayer. One quiet act of love. All of these are precious in my sight. Do not despise small things. Through these daily acts of faithfulness, I am building a life that reflects my glory in a lasting way. Whoever is faithful in very little will also be faithful in much. As written in Luke 16:10, I see everything you do in secret, and nothing is forgotten before me. My beloved child, I want you to learn how to let me guide every part of your life, not only in the great decisions, but also in every word you speak, every way you treat others, and every hidden thought within your heart. Let me walk with you through the ordinary moments of daily life. Some people believe I am present only in temples or during grand spiritual moments, but I desire to be with you in every ordinary breath you take. I want my voice to become the peace that guides your heart through every choice. When you allow me to lead you, you will begin to realize that even the most winding roads are being used by me to bring you to a better place. When you stumble, do not run away from me in shame. Run toward me. A child learning to walk may fall many times. Yet, a loving father does not reject the child because of weakness. He lifts the child up again and teaches him how to walk more steadily. I am patient with you in the same way. I know your struggles before you speak them. I know the battles hidden behind your silence, the temptations you fight, the weariness you carry, and the moments when you feel discouraged with yourself. Yet my love for you has not grown smaller. My grace has not run dry. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. As written in 2 Corinthians 12:9, your weakness does not disqualify you from my love. It becomes the very place where my strength can shine most clearly. My beloved child, never believe the lie that your journey is meaningless simply because it is slow. Trees with the deepest roots are often the ones that grow most quietly. Rivers that shape mountains do so little by little. Over time, I am working within you in ways deeper than what your eyes can presently see. Every prayer, every act of obedience, every tear you have cried before me is becoming part of the beautiful work I am forming inside your soul. Nothing surrendered to me is ever wasted. Therefore, continue walking with me day by day. Do not let fear convince you to stop growing. Do not let disappointment silence the hope I planted within you. Keep your heart soft, your spirit teachable, and your eyes fixed upon me. I will complete what I began. I will strengthen what feels weak. I will restore what was wounded. And one day, when you look back over the journey, you will understand that my hand was guiding you even through the seasons that once felt uncertain and unfinished. Remember Noah. For many long years he built the ark while there was still no sign of rain in the sky. People may have mocked him, may not have understood what he was doing. Yet day after day he remained faithful to the task I had given him. And then, at the appointed time, what once seemed foolish became the very path of salvation for his entire family. So it is with you. My beloved child, there are things I am asking you to do today that others cannot yet understand. There are steps of faith that appear small, quiet, or insignificant. But if you continue faithfully, one day you will see the greater purpose behind every step I led you to take. Do not fear seasons of change. I am present in every season of your life. When you walk through valleys, I am there. When you stand upon mountaintops, rejoicing, I am still there. My love for you does not depend upon your circumstances or your successes, for I, the Lord, do not change. As written in Malachi 3-6, people change, time changes, but I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. Therefore you may place your whole heart in me without fear of disappointment. I desire your life to become a living testimony for future generations, not the testimony of someone who never cried or never stumbled, but the testimony of a soul that walked through the fire of trials and still continued trusting me. There will be children who learn about my faithfulness through the way you live. There will be weary and hopeless souls who rediscover hope when they see how I lifted you up after seasons of brokenness. Your life will speak far louder than many words your mouth could ever say. My beloved child, keep walking forward. Do not stand still because of fear. Do not let past failures make you doubt the future I have prepared for you. A child learning to walk is not condemned for stumbling a few times. A loving father rejoices each time the child rises again and continues forward. I look upon you with the same eyes of love. Every small step you take in faith brings joy to my heart. And when you feel weak, remember that I am not merely walking beside you, I am living within you. I myself am your source of renewed strength, wisdom, and power for the journey ahead. Fix your eyes on Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith. As written in Hebrews 12:2, when your eyes remain upon me, you will not be swept away by the chaos surrounding you. You will learn how to walk in peace, even in the middle of storms, because you know whose hand is holding yours. Therefore today, my beloved child, believe. Keep walking even when you cannot yet see the entire road. Keep shining even while darkness still surrounds you. Keep loving even when the world grows cold. I am working through all things, both the things you understand and the things you do not yet understand, for your good and for the glory of my name through your life. And as the years pass, when you look back upon the journey you have traveled, you will realize that your very life has become a radiant testimony to my grace, my faithfulness, and my power that never runs dry.